All right, so today's lesson is all about counting slopes. So you're going to put this in your notebooks, this green paper right here that you just got from the sub, and you're going to give a title above the green paper on your notebook paper, Counting Slope. All right, so the first step we're going to use in counting slope. On today's practice pages, all of these problems are going to already have a line created for you. So all you have to do is find the slope of an already created line. And we're going to take this one step further tomorrow where we get the line taken away from us. So today we already have a line and our job is to count the slope. So we're always going to find the bottom point in our line. Okay, see how there's point, 2 points on our line? We're going to find the bottom point and we're going to start there. So we're going to start at the bottom or lowest point we can see on the line. Okay? Then we're going to count up. We are always going to go up first. On Friday, we talked about how slope equals rise over run. We put that in our notes. Slope equals rise over run. So our first step is going to be to rise or to count up. And we're going to count from the bottom point until we are parallel with the top point. 1, 2, 3. So see how we are now parallel with the top point, so we don't go all the way up to the top point like this diagonally. We're going to go straight up until we're now even with the top point. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to count up to be even with the top point. That is our rise. So in this case, our rise is 3. So we're going to make that the numerator of our fraction. Then we are going to run. To run means to go left or right until we are at the second point. In this case, we're going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice I'm counting the spaces there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our run in this case is positive 6. So we're going to count to the left or right until we end up at the second point on our graph, on our line. Okay, so we went rise or up 3, and then we went to the right 6 until we got to our second point. Now, there's one thing to be careful of, or one thing to think about. When we talked about the types of slope, remember we did this activity on Friday, and there were 4 types of slope. Undefined meant a vertical line. 0 meant a horizontal line. Positive meant we were going up from left to right. Negative meant we were going down from left to right. So on this right here, we went up and we went to the right. Up is always positive, and we're always going to start by going up. If we head to the right, we're going to stay positive. But if we were to go up and to the left, then our slope would become negative. So I'm going to make a note right there. To the right, we're going to stay positive. If we have to go up and to the left, we're going to turn it into a negative. And we'll have some like that here in a minute so we can practice those. Our last step, step number 4, is short. and it is to simplify. So our slope is always going to start as a fraction, and most of the time it's going to end as a fraction as well. So we're going to simplify that fraction. Divide 3 by 3, that will give us 1. And divide 6 by 3, that will give us, 1 over 2. So our simplified slope here is 1/2. Let's do a couple more examples. Step 1, we're going to start at the bottom and we're going to count up until we get to a point that's even with the second point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we rose 7. So rise over run. We came up 7. Okay, don't forget every little space counts. So the space that's in between this point right here and then the next one counts as a space. Then we're going to run until we get to the point. So we're here. We're going to run 1, 2, and now we're at the point. Now notice we went up, which is positive, but we also went to the left. When we go to the left, it turns our slope into a negative. Okay? So this cannot be simplified, and slopes can always stay as fractions, and it's fine if they're improper fractions. So our slope for number 10, or our second problem here, is -7 over 2. Okay, so we went up 7, to the left 2. All right, number 3, we're going to start at our bottom point, and we're going to rise over run. So we're going to go up until we're even with the next point. We only had to rise 1. Then we're going to run until we find the next point. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our run is 4. And did we go left or right in that one? We went to the left. So our slope is -1/4. Okay, that negative sign can go out front. It can go with the denominator. It can go with the numerator. It doesn't matter as long as only one of them is labeled as negative. All right, number 12. We're going to rise over run. Looks like we have to rise quite a bit in this problem. We're going to start at our bottom point. Don't forget to count every space. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I rose 8. And now I only have to run 1. So our slope is 8 over 1. Since I went up and to the right, my slope stays positive. We can also look back into our notes again from Friday and see that if I was walking along this path, I would be going up a very steep hill, so that would stay positive. If I was walking along this path, I would be going down the hill. So we know that that's negative, and you can use that rule to help you. All right, I want you to try these last two on your own. Pause the video and then wait to see if you got the right answers. All right, on number 13, my rise over run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I rose 6. I'm running 1, 2, 3, 4. To the left, 6 over 4 equals 3 over 2, if I divide both by 2. And I said that I went to the left, so my slope becomes -3 over 2. I also know that if I'm going from left to right, I'm going down the hill. All right, number 14, we have two little points right next to each other. So my rise over run is going to be two numbers that are pretty small. Looks like I'm going to go up 1 and to the left 1. So my slope is -1 over 1. If I wanted to simplify that to -1, I could, but in slope, everything is going to be in fraction form. All right, so you're going to keep these notes out to help you if you need. And you're going to get a practice page from the substitute. I want you working quietly and on task. This practice page is due tomorrow. Don't forget.
Students, it is now time to move on to your Eagle Hour. Consider this the bell. Bing bong. Time to move on to your Eagle Out.
Don't forget that I collected 3 assignments last week. One was the graphing assignment that's posted on Google Classroom, where we did an assignment over a monthly subscription. One was the mystery grid picture that we found out was a pumpkin, and one was that name activity. So if you have any of those assignments that you worked on over the weekend, feel free to turn them into the substitute, and they will give them to me for tomorrow. Hopefully I'll see all of you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day.